Hey y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea we are here to bring you. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
Hey, what's going on, Claudia?
I am good. And what's up, Funky Don Evo?
What's going on, everybody? Merry almost Christmas.
So usually we're kind of in on the same page with our outfits. Today we got
It's
three
all over the
different.
damn place.
Al is giving a studio, Funky giving a Studio 54 with the silky shirt and the chest. Al is like preppy and, got it buttoned up. And I'm like running errands, soccer mom, I don't know, sporty girl. We are on all different pages today, but I think it's cute. Are y'all drinking today?
No, believe it or not, tonight kicks off a new regimen of mine. Everybody knows I'm on this get bigger journey. Me and my neighbor actually going walking for an hour when I get off the show. So there will be no drinking.
Wow. Okay. Work with the late workout.
I can't let this weight go to my stomach. So I got my waist trainer and I will be changing back into my gym clothes and going walking for an hour when we get off.
Good. Because, when guys get over 40, if they're like thin, they usually the weight does go to the stomach and they're shaped like bullfrogs.
Yes.
Al, are you drinking tonight?
Nope, not drinking tonight. Just hot tea. That's all we got tonight.
Okay. Well, I have a house full of people. Well, I have like a few people coming over tonight and I offered to cook, right? You ever kind of regret almost instantly? Because I'm like really like accommodating with, okay, what do you like to eat? Okay, what do you like to eat? It ain't just like, this is the menu and that's it. I'm like trying to make everybody happy. One girl doesn't eat meat. This one doesn't have dairy. So I got a lasagna in there, was about to make a vegan lasagna. Then I got a pot roast and was going to make linguine and clams. And then people started falling off. And I was so mad because I got so many groceries, but we're going to see how it works out. So anyways, I'll take pictures and see how it works out. All right, let's get to these topics. While basketball player Anthony Edwards is celebrating his longtime girlfriend's pregnancy, an Instagram model that he slept with is calling him out for making her get an abortion a while back. Model Paige Jordan blasted Anthony on social media and shared text messages of Anthony's reaction to her pregnancy. The model sent Antonio a photo of her positive pregnancy test, and he replied, "Hell nah, I can't do this. Get an abortion, LOL." What are your thoughts on this drama, Al?
So, I've had a lot of time to think about this, Claudia, and I really would like for us to spend some time kind of like unpacking this whole thing, because as we all know, this scenario is not new. This scenario has been going on since the beginning of professional sports, where a professional athlete, is in a relationship with one woman, but gets another one pregnant. In fact, when you join the NBA, the NBL, the Major League Baseball, MLB, and the NFL, the first year recruits have to take classes about this particular incidence right here of being trapped or using protection and being careful. And on this platform, I've talked about this 100 times. I get on the guys all the time that you have got to do better, brothers, at strapping up and just stop being sloppy and having unprotected sex, because this is what happens. But can we switch gears? Q and Claudia, can we just switch gears for a second? Because doesn't it take equal responsibility? It's just not the guy, right? A guy can't create a baby by himself. So my questions are for the ladies. Like, okay, so why are we out here? Did something happen to the condom? Did you miss your birth control? Did the condom break? Why are we having so much unprotected sex with these athletes who are in relationships with other women? And he's in a known relationship with other women. It's all over Instagram. He's in a relationship with another woman. And on top of that, why are we allowing in our intercourse, why are we allowing men to ejaculate in you? Like, these are questions that run through my mind. And also, seriously, this is a very serious question. If he is telling you that he does not want the kid, he does not want to be involved in having a kid in his life from you, then what is the point of having a kid with him? You're already starting at a negative and creating an environment that's not harming or helping the child. So can you guys shine some light on me with this one?
Okay, I'm gonna jump in on this one. So you're talking about a multimillionaire and a girl that is having a relationship with him. Of course she's gonna want to get pregnant by him, especially if she don't got anything going on. Like, if you're the person with something, and yes, of course, in a perfect world, yes, of course, both people should be responsible, but it's in her best interest to get pregnant by him. So why would she? So if you're the one with something to lose, you cannot get trapped if you knowingly and willingly put your raw penis up in a woman. You should expect that a baby's gonna get created, or she's gonna get pregnant. You know what I mean? So in a regular relationship, of course, both people should bear equal responsibility. But when it's a guy with a bag, and you're messing with a woman and you're cheating on your girlfriend, you're not being trapped, brother. You are doing this to yourself and to your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then after the fact, I don't want a baby with you. Who knows what he was telling her before he busted off in her? Oh, don't worry about it. I got you. But I'm just saying, if I'm a guy with money, I've said this before, if I'm a guy with something to lose and I don't want this girl to be the one, you're not getting my raw peen. You're not getting my raw peen. And then we don't have to even have this discussion. You know, like, of course, even a woman that's not with a rich guy, most women want a child. Most women want to bond with a man. That's just that's our nature. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never mind a guy with bread, because let someone get my 50-year-old self pregnant right now that's a multi-millionaire. You think I'll be showing up for this 5 days a week? I will not. I will not. Q, what do you think about this?
So listen, misogynistic alert. Misogynistic alert. I think women bear more of the responsibility when they end up pregnant. It is your body. It's your body. It's your body. You're responsible for anything that happens to your body. You are in full control of what happens to your body, albeit birth control, a diaphragm, a plan B, making him use a condom before he put it in you. And I'm not saying every situation. Please don't nuance me to death here. Yes, I know condoms break, so on and so forth. But ultimately, you are in control of your body. Women are out here fighting for the women's right to choose. Nobody made you get an abortion, because Al, I take exception, or whoever wrote it and thing made her get an abortion. She was not made to get an abortion. Women are out here fighting for women's rights. Now, I do think it was in her best interest and the unborn child's best interest to get an abortion. But if she wanted to keep the baby, she could have. Once again, it is her body. Now, he's a low down dirty dog. He had no business cheating. He bears responsibility running up in her, without protection, tearing up his household, running the risk of disease. But of course, with her body, she spread her legs with no condom because she wanted the check. I'm just glad that she was smart enough to see that this the type of Negro that was probably going to fight you tooth and nail about that child support. And it probably would be in your best interest to just go try to trap somebody else, because this one ain't the one. Because he was real ignorant with it in them text messages. He was real ignorant with it. Now, the only thing that gets me, what I don't understand about this, and maybe I do understand it, why put it out now? Why hurt this other girl? You already hunched her man and got pregnant by her man. Now she's carrying a baby. Why do this to another woman? What was the point? I imagine the point was, I'm over here hurt and mad, so I want to blow up your spot and make you hurt and mad. But
no, it's because he lied. So he had promised her that if she got the abortion and she showed him proof of her taking the abortion pill, that he would give her $100,000. He showed a wire pending. Her dumbass did the pill first before she got the money, and now she's mad that she didn't get the money, and she's like, "Wow, it's my child." So he finessed her out of it. So she's embarrassing him now. And
City boys winning, City boys up.
I just think that this is a raggedy situation, because like when I hear this, she trapped him. Really? So a woman that's 135, 45 pounds can force a man to ejaculate into her. You have a choice in the man has a choice in the beginning, and the woman has the power in the beginning, and the man has a choice, and the woman has a choice in the end. That's just how it is. Fellas, if you don't want this problem, you strap up. And ladies, and if you want this problem, don't make them strap up, and then you have the power in the end.
I'm sorry, Claudia, I wasn't paying attention, so you got to take me back. Did you just say that the man has the power? If the woman has the power at all times.
No, the man has the power in the beginning before, like he has a choice. If he doesn't come in, there's no conversation.
You meant in that way. Because I was going to say, if you don't want to have sex with a man and he makes you have sex, that's called rape.
Oh yeah, we ain't talking about that. We talk about like consensual people.
My bad.
But it is raggedy because, who knows? A lot of times, I'm telling y'all, I have a lot of conversations with my friends, and I've been in situations. The pillow talk don't be the same before this phone call comes. It'd be totally different, girl.
But you want to know what I don't get, Claudia?
Mm-hmm.
Like Al said in the beginning, that this has been going on since the beginning of professional sports. Somebody has got to walk me through the mind of a man in 2023 that's worth millions of dollars that meets a girl in a club, Instagram, or wherever, and just sticks his condom in her, sticks his penis in her with no protection. Like, I need a doctor of psychology to tell me, does the pheromones and testosterone just cloud the mind because it's a natural biological function for us to procreate? And is that why this happens so much? Because it's almost as if men are so intoxicated by the thought of getting some that all the risk factors just go out of the window and they partake in these risky acts knowing what the outcome will be.
When I was in my hot girl days, when the who's who was trying to get at me, and a couple of people I did date, I had to force them to put on a condom. They were totally fine with trying to go raw with me and were okay with it. I had to be the one because I wasn't in that mindset of trying to trap someone. I didn't want that. It's so easy, you guys. It is so easy for a woman to trap or get a rich guy to get her pregnant. It is so easy. These men are dumb. They get caught up. They see TNA. They like, oh, I'll just make her have an abortion later. Or I can manipulate her to do what I want later. No, you lose your power once you bust off. That's it. She got you now. So act accordingly. Allie said they need a male birth control pill. I mean, y'all would have some power there.
They do have a male birth control pill.
Yeah, but they ain't going to take it every day.
They ain't going to take that.
We barely was doing it on time. I'm just saying. All right. Okay. A New York federal judge has ordered the names of Jeffrey Epstein's associates to be made public, y'all. This is a huge story. Do you think we're about to see some shocking names on these documents? Funky, what you think?
Hell yeah.
Who do you think's gonna be on there?
I don't know. Listen, I'm concerned about what black names gonna be on there. I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot of them. I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot of them because the black people that we do know that publicly associated with Epstein, they were female. So I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot of them, but I am very curious. I know it's going to be a lot of politicians. I know it's going to be a lot of judges. I know it's going to be a lot of people who are in that Trump camp. I think what's going to screw us up is the people that's going to be on there that we like or associated with the people that we love, like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. I don't know. This is going to be explosive, and I don't want to put this out there, but I got a feeling that we're going to get ready to see a couple suicides and whatnot at the top of the year. And it's a whole lot of people real nervous. If they are as rich and as powerful collectively as I think they are, they will hopefully be able to find a way to shut this thing down to keep from ruining lives.
That judge better be careful these next few Al, what you think? Who you think? I feel like we're gonna be hurt by some of the names.
I do too.
Like, not that.
Probably person. So. I think though. Listen, at the end of the day, birds with like feathers flock together, right? So he was very good at taking pictures. I mean, all we have to do is go back to his photograph gallery if we want to know all the people that he hung with. Now, that's different from friends than his co-conspirators. They are going to also list his co-conspirators, and as it relates to that list, that's the only one that I'm interested in. Who co-conspired with you to recruit little girls to go away on islands or to your home to have sex acts with and participating in sex trafficking? That's the only list I'm interested in, because remember, the lawyer said the list is going to be victims, it's going to be innocent associates, it's going to be anybody that had, frequently emailed him or texted him. So I'm only interested in the co-conspirators, though.
I'm nosy. I want to hear the whole list and see who was out there trying to mess with teenage girls in some cases.
What's the fascination with doing it with little girls, like with little 12 and 13-year-old girls? Do you think it has anything to do with, their own manhood, the size of their manhood, or anything?
You know
like
what?
That?
I don't. Me and my trainer talked about this as it related to Diddy and Cassie, and here's what I honestly think it is. I think when you get rich, You get bored. Like when you get rich, you can buy anything you want. You can have any human being you want. And so you get bored with the conventional. And it's like you're looking for the next high. You're looking for the next thrill. And once you have access to everything money can buy, the only other place you can go get your thrills from is from places that are dark and dangerous.
Yeah, but pedophilia, the number of people that have committed pedophilia, Q, and sex trafficking, the percentage of rich people doing it is way less than the percentage of the normal American.
You stopped me there.
I don't know what it is, but I think, again, I think people are just weird. And regular stuff just ain't getting people off anymore. I don't know why. I'm glad I'm still regular. All right, coming up next, a waitress in Memphis was attacked by her coworkers. And later, a man shares his unpopular opinion about child support. Keep it here.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Welcome back to TJF. Shout out to the 5,700 people in the chat right now. They are having their own little conversation, speculating. All right, y'all. A waitress was brutally attacked by her manager and several other employees at the restaurant she works at in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, the altercation started because the waitress was allegedly seeing the manager's ex-boyfriend. So the group of women attacked her from behind, stole her car and house keys, and left her with multiple injuries. What do y'all think about this story, Funky?
All they asked me to go to jail, and you could tell they're not even remorseful. Look how they smiling in the damn picture. Look how they smiling.
They like
and y'all jump somebody. Let me tell you something. You got to be a special type of dumb broad to attack another woman over another woman's ex-man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying in my head to find all types of ways to make this the girl who got jumped, make it her fault. But I just cannot wrap my head around how all of these women would jump in and jump on this girl because she was talking to the other girl ex-man. And if he is your ex-man, why does it even, and this is just so Memphis. This is so too popular. Like I wouldn't expect any more from Memphis. Al.
I'm with you, Q. I first of all, for her to get all her co-workers to do that, I wonder was she as good as getting them to perform their work task and getting to work on time as, you know, getting them to jump another employee for messing with her ex-boyfriend. I don't get it either, Q. All I know that it's immature and it's irresponsible because now you guys have a criminal record and it's a felony. And now you're all convicted criminals. So what did you actually get out of this in helping your manager jump a chick who's dating her ex-boyfriend? Like, is the boyfriend going to come back or something? No. Will your record ever be clean again from this day forward? No. So what are we actually doing here?
You know, for the girl that had her friends or coworkers help jump someone, you need better friends. You need to be a better person. If one of my friends said, I'm gonna go fight the new girl my ex is dating, I would be like, you sound stupid as hell. He's your ex. He's allowed to date someone else. Okay, she works with me. It sucks. It's uncomfortable, but he's my ex. We're gonna jump the new people that come after me. If you really want him back, go try to work it out with him. But not, you're gonna go jump the new girl that has nothing to do with whatever reason y'all broke up with. Unless he cheated on you with her, I can see that being an issue. But this is so stupid. And at work, ghetto.
Well, and the funny thing about it is, Al was talking about them having non-clean records, quiet as it's kept at their big ass age, and from the looks of them hairdos and the fact that they work at restaurants, them heifers probably already got records. Hence why they work at the damn restaurant.
There's some cute girls too.
They are. I thought they were pretty. Q and Claudia, but did you know that for men who want to cheat, statistically, it's better to cheat with someone that where your girlfriend works. Why? Especially if it's women, because usually your girlfriend talks too much about their man and how happy they are, how good the sex is. So they become a target to that good man or that sexy man for other women.
Oh, Cash Green said, I am not fighting over nobody, especially about another human. We can't possess a person, not even when it's my husband. And Ansel D'Angelo said, the way they're looking, they look like they'd happily do it again, too. They do. They look like Ann did. That's what they look like they're saying. All right. On the topic of Memphis, damn, Justin, your people, your city kind of going out today. A woman was arrested after allegedly setting her ex-boyfriend's bed on fire while he was sleeping in it with his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, and their baby. Oh my God, Memphis. What's going on? Al, what's going on in Memphis?
I don't know what these ladies, first of all, we're covering all these crazy women today on the show. I don't know what these ladies are, I don't know what they're thinking. Once again, it's immature and it's irresponsible. And not fire, sweetheart, not fire. Fire is arson. Arson laws in the United States of America are some of the worst laws. You're going to get, it's a serious felony and you're going to get time. You're going to get time. It's arson is right under murder. Just so anybody know, you watching this Angela Bassett crap, it's got you all confused because arson, they can't judge how much damage can be caused. So now this woman right here is stuck with an arson charge. It's a serious felony, and she's only 20.
Well, she could sit in jail next to them other 4 girls because she looked like they all work at the same place. Quiet. Yeah. We got one comment over here from Oprah Gates that said, "Can y'all please slack up in the Memphis stories because soon we're going to have our own segment like Florida." LOL. They'll probably call it M&M, Memphis and Mayhem. Oh my God. Oprah Gates, I think you might get a production credit because I think that Memphis is probably way more raggedy than Florida and it's much smaller. And I think that there is a lot of ratchet toxicity we can get out of Memphis. Now, as far as this fire, girl, set his ass on fire, set her ass on fire, but don't set the baby on fire now. That's where I draw the line. I don't care about you setting no good ass man on fire. And if he cheated on you with that girl, set her ass on fire too. But wait till the baby go to daycare and they in there hunching in the daytime on a lunch break or something. But we don't set children on fire.
Ladies, I know there's a man shortage. I know these are some rough times, ladies, but you're going to catch a felony case and go to prison and be with all girls. Anyways, like you might as well be free on the outside instead of be manless on the inside.
I'm going to be honest with you, Claudia. I don't think there's a man shortage down there where they play. where they play it.
I got you.
I don't think there's a man.
Wait a minute, what are you saying?
Am I aiming too high?
There's an overabundance of raggedy Negroes. I'm not trying to like let's just
y'all are big class. Y'all are big class.
You can working at restaurants,
elitist.
I mean, you know, you can tell a lot about somebody based on their crime. Okay.
All right. Samara Stanford, she's sympathizing. She said sometimes you just over being done wrong. And then Arnold Northfleet said she should just join the other women. And then Paulette Minnis said, like Q, to echo you, fighting over someone jobless, most likely. I wish I would. In a recent podcast interview, a woman shared her thoughts on dating. She said that she believes women should always vet a man's childhood before dating them. She said, one thing I will never do is date a man that saw his mom get physically abused. Wow, that's interesting. What are your thoughts on this, Al?
I think she's speaking some truth, but this goes both ways, beautiful. Men and women should be doing the vetting. And I decided because of this conversation, because of this, I created a list of 10 things to vet. And I want you guys to tell me what you would take out or if y'all believe the same. Number one, family mental illness or other diseases that fits in their family tree. Number two, how are you going to split bills? Number three, credit score. Number four, tax returns. Number five, sexually transmitted diseases. 6, religion. 7, children. 8, in-laws. 9, deaths. And 10, career or life goals.
I think that's a great list.
But like, how do you get their tax returns though? Like, how you get that? Like, that's hard to get all that stuff, especially in the beginning when you're just like dating. Like, a lot of that stuff is hard to get.
Or is that just simply like?
That's like for me a long-term, yeah. Or
does that fall under asking somebody how much they make annually?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I was talking to one of my friends today about background checks, and she got the good program. And I was like, I'm not really opposed to that anymore, because nowadays you be finding out shocking things. How you not know? How could you not know? Because people are good at consulting like their secrets. If they want to deceive you, they will. What do you think, Funky?
Well, you know, as far as the background checks, Claudia, based on if you're looking for anything real damaging or illegal, based on the type of job they have, that'll clear some of that up. Like if you're dating an executive, you ain't got to worry about him having felonies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, in order for you to be an executive at a high level company, they've done that already. But yeah. Again, y'all know I don't get into this battle of the sexist thing, and the same could be said because there are a lot of households. I know I have Black female friends whose moms and grandmas pride themselves on saying, we whoop our man's ass. Okay, so it goes both ways. I know households where women jump on men and beat their ass when they come home late or come home drunk or don't surrender the money or say something to them. So it goes both ways. I think everybody wants somebody from an ideal background. Nobody wants anybody from a traumatic background. But I also think it's worth noting that just because somebody comes from a traumatic background, the bigger concern is not necessarily the background or the trauma. Did they get therapy and get healing and fix it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't come. The overwhelming majority of people, if you start talking historically with what we went through in this country, hell, I'm willing to bet that over 50% of Black people in America these days come from some type of
trauma,
jacked up background on one level or another.
So basically, there's nobody around that could clear that list.
No, not all 10. Not all 10 at the same time.
No, I didn't say they had to clear the list. I'm saying for me, you have to have the conversation so you will know. Right. So that you know, especially like stuff like religion, having children. We saw on the show last week, a woman completely leaving her marriage of how many years because her husband all of a sudden is going to be the dad of these kids. I'm just saying to have the conversation, not to date, but to be in a long-term relationship.
People be lying so much and be so good at it where it's like sociopath, like scary, you know? I had a boyfriend that lived with me and I didn't even know his real age or name. He lied about all that. He had everything. He changed. He lied. He had fake teeth. He had fillers in his face. He had surgeries I didn't know about. Everything was a lie. And I was like, I even asked him one day, how old are you? Because I saw his ID somewhere and he still was lying once I saw it. I'm like, what? Like was going to take it, said he was a Muslim and a vegan. He knew who had the Molly hookup. I'm like, what? Anyways, people be lying. I'm just saying. All right, coming up next, a man shares his unpopular opinion on child support and later find out how a drug dealer tortured his rivals. Stay tuned.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on this. So
fucking good.
TGIF, live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Fox Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't try it. Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all, listen, we love to hook y'all up with our life hacks, make things easier for you, and you enrich your life. So this episode of TGIF is brought to you by Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first ever baked from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less, and no thawing is required. Now, the team at Wild Grain just sent me a new box with so much delicious stuff inside. Let me tell you about it. Listen, I love when I get stuff sent to me and frozen, so it's like all good to go, and I don't have to worry about it going bad. Really tasty stuff, and I really appreciate them. Al, what's your favorite item that you tried? Because I know you have an appetite.
Hey, listen, I got my box too, Claudia, and guess what I found? They have a new product in there, and they are already pre-cut chocolate chip cookies. And I tried them last night, finally, for the first time, and they are absolutely, absolutely delicious. And the best part about it is, I don't know what, maybe it has something to do with the dough, but when you cook the pre-cooked one, they spread out and they look like a huge, like shape like this chocolate chip cookie. It was perfect for this holiday season.
All right, Funky.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward to Christmas because this year I'm not going to my family. So all of us wayward singles in Miami, we're getting together. And I looked in the freezer when we started putting the list together, and I was able to tell my friends, oh, I got all of these different things. And they were like, that's that Wild Grain stuff y'all be talking about on the show. I'm like, yeah. They were like, oh, you have got to bring it. So I want to make sure that this time when I serve it to my friends at whoever's house we doing it, that I take pictures and get everybody's reaction. But everybody's looking forward to it. Guys, Wild Grain products are amazing. You hear us talk about them like crazy, and it's just always good, especially if you're a Southern boy like me who has to eat bread with every meal, that you can just go in there and throw something in the oven really quickly to put with your food. And soulmates, can y'all please stop dissecting my grocery list every time I go shopping and y'all see bread from another brand in my thing talking about, what about your Wild Grain? What about your Wild Grain? My Wild Grain is in my freezer or in my belly. Please stay up out my grocery list. Thank you.
Well, let me ask this, Funky. How can Wild Grain make your weekly or daily meals easier and better this year?
Well, it can make them easier in the fact that, like I said, I'm one of those people that always likes to have bread with my meal, and having an array of breads in your freezer already takes the guesswork out of meal preparation. You know what I'm saying? I can literally, I'm frying pork chop, rice, green beans, bam, open the fridge. Okay, which one of these breads that I want to do? It just takes the guesswork out of things. And also, too, ain't none of us in here like Grandma Louise making bread from scratch these days. So the prep time alone, coupled with the thinking or lack of having to think, definitely makes making your meals weekly and yearly better, faster, and easier.
All right. And you can now fully customize your wild grain box. You can get any combination of breads, pastas, and pastries you like. If you want a box of all bread, all pasta, or all pastries, you can have it. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/tea to start your subscription. You heard me, free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/tea. That's wildgrain.com/tea, or you can use promo code TEA, that's TEA, at checkout. Promotional consideration furnished by Wild Grain. All right, let's get back to more topics. Hey, take a look at this tweet. Unpopular opinion. Locking a man up for unpaid child support is counterproductive and does more harm than good. Al, let's go to you first. Do you agree?
I'm 50-50 on this. I mean, I understand both sides. And we talked about this yesterday. Remember with Darius McCrary? I think, though, I just feel like if the goal is for them to pay, then how and why are you locking them up? Not only can they not pay, but having this on their record is not going to give them the ability to get a better job when they lose the one that they had when you got them locked up. So it's like, what actually is the goal? And we do need to re-examine that seriously, because I don't think this locking up mechanism or law or whatever it is actually doing, I think it's doing more harm than it is doing good. Now, for the women, I completely understand, because child support is a source of income that can make the difference between poverty and self-sufficiency. And they are the main provider, right? The person who has custody is the main provider for their child. And children in both of these scenarios are the ones that end up suffering the most. So I just feel like we've got to re-examine this and revamp it so that the kids are affected the least.
All right, Al, what do you think?
Al already spoke. I think that I'll go. I agree. I said this yesterday when we did the Darius McCrary story, that it was kind of stupid. How are you supposed to pay? For those that are out there who are nosy like me, I have somebody, a mutual friend of Darius's, that saw the show last night. I was like, he's actually out of jail. So I'm assuming when you go to jail for child support, you don't stay in for a long stretch. Maybe it's just to like deter you or to scare you, or maybe it's based on how much you owe. I don't know. Darius owed $57,000 and only was in there for a day or two. So if that's any type of litmus test. But yeah, I echo what Al said. I mean, I guess when they're not paying, you have to find some type of way to get it. On the flip side of things, I think that this probably disproportionately affects men who don't have stable jobs with every 2-week paychecks. Because I got a homegirl who just got her baby daddy on child support. She found out that he had moved to Atlanta and became a police officer, honey. And she had a cousin that was a police officer who put his name in the system and found out what division and precinct he worked for. And bam, just like that, out of nowhere, she started getting child. She put the paperwork in, and it took a couple months. And now she's getting, $600 a month in child support. So I think this affects men who really don't have stable employment, probably, dudes that are out there trapping or, getting paid under the table. Because if your man works, you can easily garnish his job, his paycheck, if you know where he works.
The sad thing is, listen, we make these kids, and a sperm and an egg makes a kid. Okay. And it's two people's responsibility, right? And they have to go to these extreme measures to get the money because the person is behind. And you may be like, oh, I ain't paying that money, or it's an inconvenience. Yeah, it may be an inconvenience to you, and I'm sure it is, but think about how much of an inconvenience it is for the mom that has a child that has to be fed. And it's not about an inconvenience for them, it's about survival. I remember, I won't get into our child support, but anyways, you really can deprive a child of the basic things in life, like heat, like electricity, like meat versus having ramen noodles. And it really comes down to it. And a lot of times these people are running from child support when we're talking about a small amount of child. Most people are not getting the $30,000 a month. The average people are getting like
400,
300. That's not that's a week's worth of groceries in some people's homes. And when you gyp them of these, you deprive your baby mama or your child because you're annoyed with the mom or whatever. It's really impactful on the other side, guys. It really is. It's a pair of sneakers to you. It's food to your kid.
I wanted to say that, I know the situations are different. There are situations out there where the woman and the man were madly in love and then things happen and he just becomes a jackass. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about these fly-by-night situations, these trying to trap player situations like we talked about earlier. In society, there's a lot of double standards, and you know what they say, mommy's baby, daddy's maybe, all right? Like, going back to that earlier conversation we had about the woman ultimately having control of her body and if she gets pregnant or not, again, I'm not trying to absolve men, but women, I'm just saying this to you as somebody who cares. The burden is going to fall on you 9 times out of 10. So you've got to be a bit more conscious because it is easy for a man to just get up and walk away. We can just get up and walk away. It don't make it right, but we can just get up and walk away and you're stuck with the baby.
It's really unfortunate that that is the case. And things also change, all that. I want you to have my child. I promise you this. We're going to get married. We're going to do this and that. And then it changes and then you stuck and then people think you're dumb when really you just believed. All right, keep it locked because coming up next, find out how a drug dealer tortured his rivals. And later we're discussing the roachiest city in the U.S. We'll be back.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on yourself.
I can good.
TGIF. Live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Fox Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't try it.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers. The sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, a drug dealer was arrested after abducting and torturing at least 2 of his rivals. He tortured these rivals by taking a clothing iron to their butt cheeks. Can you believe this story, Al?
Oh, he's attractive, isn't he? Oh gosh, I had something just went through my mind.
Al's like, he can burn my butt cheeks. Look at you.
No.
You know what? We can have the worst human, Funky rock with me on this. The worst human. They
but let him be fine or rich.
They are just
you guys are
depraved. I'd be like, ooh, he fine.
I was just saying, he called me. I was like, oh, he's kind of attractive. And I've been practicing celibacy, so my mind went somewhere else right for a second. But anyway, everybody knows that this is called an enhanced interrogation technique, which is very archaic, but it gets you to, for someone who's exerting power and control, it gets the answers that you want, and it also gets them to acquiesce to serve. So there you go.
So he wouldn't have to burn your cheeks to get you. Look at you and look you now.
He just wanted to warm them up a little bit. Don't warm them up. Yeah, heat it up, then beat it up. Hey, beat it up, probably eat it up, and after you eat it up, clean it up, honey. All right.
What do you think about this one?
I'm glad I went to college and didn't have to get into the streets. Okay, because I'm just not cut out for this life. I was about to say something very insensitive. I was about to say, I really don't care what goes on between two groups of drug dealers, right? That's the first thing I was about to say. Then I paused because I have to remember that I am acquaintances and friends with people who sell drugs or who have sold drugs. And sometimes, people's situations put them in a situation where that's a means of survival. And I've recently had to unlearn that people who sell drugs are bad people. Not all people who sell drugs are bad people. Some people have just been dealt bad circumstances. Nevertheless, this is crazy. This is torture. I couldn't imagine that happening to me. And the beautiful thing about being an accountant and being an entertainment personality is that hopefully none of my coworkers or people on rival networks will ever have to burn my ass with an iron. I can take some social media shade. I can take some video making, but I don't know that I'm cut out for having an iron to my ass.
Can you imagine how painful that is? Have you ever just grabbed even graze your hand on a curling iron or grab the pot that was still hot, and you're like 1 second of that, you're like a split second. Imagine just pressed on your butt cheeks. Look at Al. I was like, imagine it.
I'm gonna read some comments though. K Unique said, "Why his butt cheeks though? That's a little questionable." Ooh, K Unique, where your mind at? And Wild Factor said, "Al's peach pocket is trying to get filled." You guys are hilarious.
Okay. A TikToker received backlash after her viral wig transformation video. She said the video was inspired by the film The Color Purple. Take a look.
I was inspired by the movie The Color Purple, and today I'm going to be giving this wig a purple glow up. I think we could all use some purple. I actually love how this turned out. Experience a heartwarming story with the movie The Color Purple and share your purple transformation this holiday season.
Okay. Was that a hit or a miss?
Let me talk to this because I know exactly what happened with this video, because in the very beginning of the video, she says, "I want to thank Warner Brothers for selecting me as an influencer to participate in the program." Anybody who's been following me on YouTube can tell you, they know I don't do a lot of brand partnerships. And I don't do them because you get emails from out of touch people from corporate who simply look at your profile based on stats, and they send you all types of deals for you to opt into that don't align with your brand. I'm sure The Color Purple had a huge marketing budget, and this brand deal probably paid a lot. I can tell by the way this girl was speaking, she A, did not watch the movie. B, she totally read the synopsis that came. The Color Purple was a movie about a girl named Celie in Georgia in 1800s that goes through whatever, it comes into womanhood, or whatever the case may be. And you can tell she didn't watch the movie because she literally thought that doing a wig thing with purple was in line with the brand. She then had to submit this to the brand company. They have to approve it in order to get the check. Honestly and truthfully, she shouldn't get paid. Honestly and truthfully, the person who reached out to her and extended this brand deal to her, their ass should be fired. I'm not saying that influencers who are not Black should not have an opportunity to get brand deals as it related to this movie, but there should have been more research done to ensure that that influencer, her audience, what they were about was in line with the movie. And I say that to say that's why I don't take a lot of the brand deals, because my audience doesn't like a hard sell, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I use curling irons for those dusty ass wigs I used to wear when I don't use curling irons. So this is what happens when influencers take deals for the check and they don't really vet the offer. And that's what happened with this. So she deserves all the backlash that she's getting, but she's probably laughing, y'all, because the check cleared.
Right. Okay. Al, what do you think?
He said everything I was thinking, and obviously he gave us insight that most of us wouldn't know. But I agree with him. She definitely never seen that movie Color Purple or read the book.
I get you're like, oh, a $5,000 one or 10, whatever it was. I'm gonna take this one. This is a good one. That's fine. But when it comes to these kind of movies, you gotta just like, it's not like it's a fairy tale or The Little Mermaid or something like that. That there's no kind of historical kind of, like it's not gonna touch a soft spot, a nerve with any segment of the population. But this particular thing, it would be wise to be a little bit more sensitive to, the movie. I get what the company was trying to do, like get some mainstream white people to kind of be interested. But I hope you spend as much money with Black influencers that know of the history and have watched the movie and that know the movie, that are invested in the movie. Because I don't think any of us got a call from them.
And what she did was lazy. It was extremely lazy. She read the paragraph. And look, she's probably a great influencer in her arena, but this just was not it.
Okay. All right. A woman asked for her Twitter followers for some relationship advice. She wrote, "Am I wrong for going on a couple's trip to Zanzibar alone because my man can't afford it? I make more money than him, but I don't want to miss out on this amazing trip because of his finances. We are not married and I'm still young. The question is, would you go on a trip without your partner?" I would like to go first on this one because I have a friend. One of my girls was dating a guy that made less money than her, right? But that's the man she chose to be with. And a trip came up and she actually left him at home. And she's like, "I'm not paying for that." And I thought, how would you feel if you were the one making them? He was the one making more money and he left you at home because you couldn't afford it. I think it's wrong. Honestly, if that's the man I chose and a trip comes up, I would hate to leave my guy at home because he didn't have it. He couldn't afford it. Because if you're with that person, obviously they fulfill and give you happiness in other areas that are not financial, they're supportive, they help you in other ways. I think that's kind of mean to do that. I think I haven't commented on this page. I thought it was cruel. And then I don't know, I think it's mean. What do y'all think?
So rarely am I double-minded, but I'm going to be double-minded on this one. So I have a rule. I'm not one of those people who, I'm not Ebony K. Williams. I will date the bus driver. I will date anybody that I come across that I have a chemistry with. I have one rule. I don't care if you don't have a car, just as long as you're not asking me for a ride. I don't care if you don't make much money, just as long as you're not asking me for money. Just as long as my only rule in dating is that you are able to take care of yourself and sustain the life that you live without it impacting me. So in this situation, if y'all invited me to Zanzibar and I got the money to go and he don't have the money to go, and I'm just in one of those moods where I don't want to pay for it, or maybe I don't have it like that, or maybe I'm going to have to shift my bills around to pay for it, then he can't go. That's my first way of thinking. Then my second way of thinking is she just don't like him. Because to your point, Claudia, when you like somebody, you don't count coins.
You want to share that, you want him to see it. Like, you're like, I want you to see Zanzibar too.
When I am in like with somebody, I don't count coins, especially if I can comfortably do it. It's just not a thing. It's like, come on.
Okay. Al, what are your thoughts?
So I don't think it's cruel that she was going to leave him. I think it would only be cruel if she had enough money for him and her, and she decided not to help him out, because, we've all been in situations where sometimes our money's up, sometimes our money is down. When our money is up, especially if you're in a relationship that's mutual, sometimes you have to carry it. Sometimes your money's down and he got to carry it. So now if she's got the money and she makes enough money and got enough money to take them both, and she decided not to, that I think is cruel. But if she only had enough money to cover herself, she kind of know maybe he's unemployed, he shouldn't be traveling anyway because this is going to put our family or our situation in a worse off situation, then go on your own, babe, and have a good time. Just have a conversation with him, though, and let him know the reasoning behind you doing what you're doing.
I just want to add something, because I'm thinking about it as from my point of view as a 50-year-old woman that has means, right? Yes, of course. If she's struggling and she can barely go herself, girl, don't miss out on this opportunity. But I guess I'm thinking like, I got it. Like, and my friend really, really had it too. Like she was really doing well. And I was like, damn, like in that regard, I think it's mean when you really, really have it. But if it's, if it's a fact matter of, you're barely making it, I understand like not missing out. But, and then also maybe there's some backstory. Maybe like she's sick and tired of, she's always filling up the gas tank and she's always paying for food. I can understand that. All right. All right. Coming up, find out the roachiest city in the U.S. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Gross.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's gotta come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect.
Welcome back. I got to read one of the comments from the chat right before we get into our comments. Houston, Texas has been ranked the #1 roachiest city in the U.S. What's going on in Houston? According to reports, 37% of Houston homes have roaches. Oh my God. Does this surprise you? And I'm just going to say, Angel White in the chat, you are shady. She put place with the most roaches. My cousin's house. Don't sit down.
Hell no. I'll do you one better. I had a family member, and I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to have to fight none of my family. I had a family member whose car was full of roaches, and at nighttime, back in Black families, you put all the kids in the car, be 6 of us in the back, and the roaches would be crawling out behind our heads and on our ears and stuff growing up. So trust me, I get it. But Houston people, y'all got a problem because y'all got the most roaches and the most syphilis. So shit, I don't want to sit nowhere in Houston.
That's you. I know you're not talking. And Claudia, you can't be giggling because Miami is ranked #6.
Well,
in Dallas is ranked #7. They both are 6 and 7.
I live in the non-roach area.
Not me, girl. Honey, I live, first of all, I live too far up in the sky, honey. Bugs can't even get up here where I stay. Okay, that's first and foremost. Bugs can't even get up here where I stay.
The Bronx,
y'all still in the top 10.
Where's LA?
Not my neighborhood, honey.
I didn't see where LA was.
Because I see
LA
13.
LA is 13.
You are right outside the cusp there.
But here's what's funny.
How the heck did New York land at 11? I would have thought New York City would have landed a little higher.
All the places I go are on there. My sister's in Tampa. I live in Miami. I frequent Atlanta. All the places I go are on the list.
Well, there you have it.
Let me try to squeeze this in real quick. California was in the news after it was announced that the state is set to turn its sewage water into pure drinking water through taps. What do you think about this toilet to tap plan? You're gonna get more.
I thought it was already being done in some places. I mean, and I think it sounds bad on the surface, but scientifically, if the water's purified and clean, then it can't beat us drinking water out the water hose when we were kids. It's the same filtration process to a degree.
I think we should not think about the that we're saying, because what do water treatment plants do today? Every city has a water treatment plant, so
you bathe it in it.
Can't be too
I'm just gonna drink vodka in Malibu. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sounds good to me, honey.
Roaches and pee water. All right. I want to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and Funky Dynamo, for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Watch the replay tomorrow. Stay tuned for Crockett's Corner. We will see you back here tomorrow. Y'all have a good night tonight. Y'all have some fun and be safe.
Have a good night, soulmates.
All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Funky.